we could get the best deal possible on a mortgage.
What are the first things you should do when you decide that you're interested in purchasing a home is check your credit? Because that's the foundation upon which lenders are going to determine your capacity to be a home buyer.
It's important to disclose all of your debt because all of your debts are on your credit report, and honesty is truly the best policy. Although your credit does not have to be perfect, it does have to be very positive. By that we mean you should be paying your bills on time. An occasional late payment is understandable, but consistent late payments will present a problem. One of the most important things in this process really is your credit history, because not only will we see what your debts are, but the lenders will look at the way you've paid your bills in the past, your ability to repay. They're going to lend you a great deal of percentage of the price of the house, so they want to know that you're a good risk. Anything we should be aware of?
I had a credit problem 3 years ago.
The lender will want to know the reason for it. May I ask?
It was a kind of a nasty divorce.
Okay. That's very understandable. Have you had a chance to reestablish credit, I hope?
I was able to get a secured credit card from the bank, from my local bank, and shortly thereafter I was able to get a car loan, a used car loan from them.
Great. And I hope in the last 2 years there haven't been any late payments?
It's been spotless.
Girl, that's the way to do it. By any chance, do you pay your rent with check?
Yes, I do.
You have your cancel checks?
I brought 6 months' worth.
Good. Terrific. And your utility bills you also pay by check?
Yes, I do.
Well, you've reestablished credit, so you're really well on your way. What the lenders are looking for, if there are credit problems in the past, the last 2 years of good credit. All right, let's take a look at the credit report. Here's your car loan. This is installment debt. The revolving are your one secured credit card, which is wonderful. This tells me if we had any past due dates in the last 2 years, and you can see in this column there's nothing there, which is wonderful. Now, your old bad credit is on there. This will stay on the report for a few years. We're going to be open and honest with the lender that you have had these problems and you've reestablished the credit. Okay.
Many people run into credit problems because of illness, unemployment, death in the family, any number of things that could happen that take a person who's been a good payer and for a temporary lapse, they're not. What we're going to look to see is what happened. Was there some circumstance out of your control that made it impossible for you to make your payments? Tell us what it was. Show us that that situation has been corrected and that you are able to pay.
If you are rejected for a mortgage, your lender will let you know why you were rejected. And it gives you the opportunity then to repair your credit history. Sometimes it's just a matter of waiting a little bit longer and having maybe 12 months without any late payments. If you're rejected because you're overextended, it gives you an opportunity to pay down your debt. If you have a car loan that perhaps is putting your debt ratio too high, it just might be a matter of time until you pay off the car, and then you'll know you won't have a car loan to pay for quite a while. So we look at every different item in the credit history to see what can we zero in on to make it better for the next time.
The good news is that there are counseling agencies, there are nonprofit organizations that can get you on the path to home ownership.
There's no charge for our service. People can find the homeownership counselor by calling the Fannie Mae Foundation. They have a list of local counseling agencies.
Establishing good credit is an important step to take in the home buying process. For information on how to finance a home and much more, call the Fannie Mae Foundation for their free guides. Opening the door to a home of your own and choosing the mortgage that's right for you. You'll find the answers to your important questions and simple worksheets to help you evaluate how much of a home you can afford. These easy-to-read guides take you step by step through the entire mortgage process and help you determine whether you're ready for home ownership. Just call 1-800-833-7500.
She read it from cover to cover, picking up things, and I think you learned a lot of things.
Yeah, like that you should lower your debt if you have any credit card debt, how to actually prepare yourself.
You can chart yourself, see where you are at this point. It says, oh, great, maybe next year we'll be at this point, and, so on and so forth. It sets you on the right track.
Owning your own home is an important part of the American dream. If you're thinking about buying a home, the first step is to call 1-800-833-7500 today for your free Fannie Mae Foundation guides. Can a real estate professional help you?
As a real estate professional, I would have you come into the office, get a little basic information on an application, have you qualified to see exactly what price range you're able to purchase in, and then take you out and show you homes. Okay, Alex and Ivy, this is the first house we're going to be seeing today. And as you notice here, you're stepping into the formal living room. Isn't it beautiful? And of course, you see all the light. Yeah, I know you like windows, right? You mentioned that in the car. Absolutely. So once you find one you like, I submit an offer, get that accepted, get you into contract, help you to select an engineer to go in and give a good structural inspection on the property. I also am in constant contact with your real estate attorney and with your lender of choice. And so we follow the process all the way through until you close and get the keys to your new home.
The size of this thing, you get lost in here. I love this.
First-time buyers are fantastic. They're so excited, they're nervous, it's a lot of emotions going on.
You have dreams about what you want your house to look like and all the rooms that you want it to have. Like, I want a 2-car garage, and I want it to have, you know, the kitchen with the island and the room for the pots to hang on at the top, and you know, and everything. And then you finally get out to see the houses, and so it makes a big difference. Then it just becomes that much more real.
They have to put some trust in us. We know the market, we get to know what homes are selling for what prices and what areas, and we're able to now show them houses that they can select from. This is it. Look at this. Everything that you've asked for.
What a beautiful front lawn.
Just look at it, imagine with the rhododendron.
What's the best mortgage for you?
How do you find the best mortgage? And
Right. Do you go to your bank, or is there a specific bank that you need to go to? Does it matter what bank you go to?
I always suggest that people shop around. Check with no less than 3 lenders and compare the rates. Ask them if there are points, how many points are they paying, what type of fees are involved, so you can make an apples with apples comparison to get the best possible mortgage that works for you. Now, points are something that we haven't touched on yet, but this seems like the perfect time.
Yeah,
Another one of the questions
All right.
down here.
A point is the equivalent of 1% of the amount that you're financing.
Okay.
So in this case, you're financing $125,000. 1 point would be $1,250. By paying points, you're lowering your interest rate. It's the difference between paying the money up front or financing over the life of the loan. So paying 0 points, for example, you'd have a higher interest rate, but you'd have less out-of-pocket expense.
Okay, so we have the option of choosing to pay 0 points, okay.
But the more points we pay, the better for
The lower your rate is,
the
lower your monthly payment's going to be.
I think there are also like certain ways you can pay off a mortgage. I think there's like balloon payments or fixed rate mortgages, stuff like that. I've heard floating around people using those kind of terms, but I don't know what that means. Balloon rate? What do you put it in a balloon or something and you let it float away? You know, stuff like that. You really don't know what they're talking about. It's like they have their own language and you're trying to decipher it.
Making a choice on the right mortgage for you with the very types of mortgages that are out there usually comes down to some very personal decisions. There's adjustable rate mortgages and there's fixed rate mortgages.
Mortgages are available from a number of sources, such as mortgage companies, savings and loans, banks and credit unions. Loans are originated with 15, 20, or 30-year terms. The longer the term, the lower the payment. But over the course of the longer loan, you will pay more interest. Plus, you need to consider a fixed rate versus an adjustable rate. Information on the different mortgage loans available is covered in the Fannie Mae Foundation Guide, Choosing the Mortgage That's Right for You. How large a down payment do you need?
How do you get the money for the down payment? Do you have to borrow from your family, or do you have to just save, never ever go to the movies? You know.
I think many people think they're going to pay rent for the rest of their lives because they think they need to save a great deal more money than they actually do to make that first home purchase.
Is it 10%? Does it have to be 20? Do people ever give 15?
The lender expects typically a 5% down.
As a potential home buyer, you have to get past that fear of not having a 20% down payment. Many lending institutions will allow you to get a mortgage with less than 20% down, as little as 3%. But again, you have to do your homework. Call the lending institutions in your area and find out what is the minimum down payment requirements.
Most people are surprised that they can purchase a home with such a small percentage down because they remember their parents telling them it had to be much more down. So it gives them great hope and encouragement.
The down payment